Hey everyone, okay, awesome feedback from this week's podcast episode on how to get in shape for in the lead up to Christmas. So we've got 4, 5, 6 weeks in the lead up to Christmas now, and the podcast episode was focused on what training system you should do, what nutrition, how you should focus that, and what supplements to take. So I'm just going to do an expanded video on it now. So if you haven't checked out the episode, I'll try and put the link down below here as well. So basically, training now in the next 4, 5, 6 weeks, you can do incredible things in that amount of period. You know, to build muscle, it takes a little bit longer because obviously the whole system of hypertrophy and tearing the fibers down and letting them grow back can take a little bit longer. But you can lose body fat, a lot of body fat, and then look amazing and drop a couple of dress sizes or get your suit or t-shirts fitting tighter over a 5-6 week period, assuming you're doing everything correctly. So what I would do in your training program is start adding in some advanced techniques or bump up the intensity in your actual workouts. So for example, advanced techniques are things like partial reps, drop sets, supersets, finisher style workouts, things like that are all going to bump up the intensity level of your actual workout. So focusing on your tension style training, so tearing fibers to elevate metabolism so that you can boost your metabolism to burn more body fat, but then adding in things like partial reps where you do your normal set and then do partial movements to tear more fibers, negative reps where you're doing a slow negative on a movement, which is going to elicit more fiber tears as well, and then things like supersets where you're doing 2 moves back to back. All of these kind of advanced training techniques are going to speed up your progress because they're going to allow you to burn more calories, they're going to elevate your heart rate, which will burn more calories, and you're also going to tear more fibers, which means your metabolism will elevate, which again will burn more body fat. So you're hitting it from all angles, and then using high intensity cardio as your main kind of cardio style. Low intensity works, but you got to go into quite a low like a calorie deficit and be lower on calories to make that work, and it's not sustainable long term, and it takes longer to do because you got to do 20-30 minutes of cardio low intensity to get kind of a good bang for it, whereas you might do 4 or 5 minutes or even 10 minutes of a 30-30 sprint, which is high intensity cardio, and you're out of the gym quicker. You know, if you're in the gym longer than an hour, you're probably not hitting the quality of workout that you need to hit in order to change your body composition. So like for example, in my online program, you're in and out of the gym in an hour, 50 minutes ideally, but an hour depending on time to go to machines, if you're waiting on equipment because the gym is busy, but you're in and out in an hour. Like that's going to be optimal, quality over quantity, and you're going to get incredible results from that. So make sure that you're doing that in your training program. Make sure you're focusing on your tension style training. Add in your systems at the end, and then use high intensity cardio at the end of your workout so that your body's using its fat as its fuel source. From a nutrition point of view then, this is going to be dependent on your own metabolism, but making sure you're spacing your meals every 3 hours or so, keeping blood sugar stable, that's what's going to keep your energy levels up. So it means you're going to be able to put that extra energy into the training session, and you're going to have that extra energy so you're able to focus on the food you're eating so that you're not reaching for, sugary foods to give you an energy spike, or caffeinated foods or caffeinated drinks to give you an energy spike, because your blood sugars are so stable. So eating every 2.5, 3 hours is going to stabilize that. It doesn't mean you have to have a meal every 3 hours or so, but you're having something that keeps your blood sugars stable. Stay away from foods that are going to spike that as well. The ones that would be hidden that you would think would be like white rice, certain fruits like watermelon, are going to spike up your blood sugars. You want to keep them pretty stable through the day, particularly if fat loss is your goal. So they're kind of the hidden foods. Obviously processed food and all that really shitty ingredients are going to do that as well. So avoid those. Stick with real food. Look at the ingredient list. Normally if there's one ingredient, you're pretty solid. Maybe 2 ingredients. It depends on the type of food. Like you can get some amazing processed foods that are like organic and raw, and they haven't taken out any of the vitamins or minerals, and they haven't put in any preservatives or flavorings. Those foods are great. It's not the processed foods that are bad, it's the actual method of taking out the nutrients, the vitamins and minerals, and adding in shitty ingredients like preservatives and flavorings to give it more taste. That's what's wrong with the processed food. It's not the actual processing that's the problem. So cut those foods, add in real food, keep your blood sugar stable by eating every 2.5, 3 hours, and calculate your macros. Like it's worth calculating in the beginning, and then you'll know by eye after that. So for example, in my online program, I've got different sections, so depending on your goals, there's different calorie tiers that you're going to work to, depending if you're trying to build muscle or tone up if you're a girl, or lose body fat and drop a couple of dress sizes, you're going to work to your calorie tier. So it really depends on what your specific goals are. So you want to calculate around your maintenance calorie. So calculate your BMR, which is average for a girl is around 1600. It's around 2200 for a guy, a ballpark. It varies depending on metabolism person to person. That's kind of a ballpark. And you want to be eating around that mark, maybe 100 below or over, and then getting your deficit from your training. training, because that's what's going to keep your metabolism elevated. It's going to keep all your hormones stable. Your leptin, your ghrelin, your hunger, your satiety hormones are all going to stay stable, which means that you're going to be able to not only lose body fat coming into Christmas, but keep it into the new year and keep it into the long term. So that is what I would do with your nutrition. And then your supplements is make sure you're supplementing with the correct things that support your goal. Never pick your supplements based on your gender, pick them on your goals. So if fat loss is your goal, use supplements that are going to support fat loss. Things like green tea extract, L-carnitine tartrate, things like whey protein and BCAAs are going to support the muscle that you already have, which is going to keep your metabolism elevated. So that's going to support fat loss as well. So make sure you've got those in your program. And it doesn't matter whether you're a guy or a girl. The only difference is that your serving size, your actual dosage is going to be different. So if you're a guy that's 100 kilos, your dosage is going to be different from a 40 kilo girl, so that's the only difference. But in terms of picking your supplements based on your goals, that's what I would advise anybody to do. It's the same with muscle building. You don't, just because creatine helps guys build muscle, it's going to help girls build muscle as well, because it doesn't, just because it's gender bias, just because it's gender based, it doesn't make a difference to its effects that it has in your body, but the dosage is going to be different because the weights are going to be different. So using those supplements, putting them all together, you can get incredible shape for Christmas in a 4, 5, 6 week period. So get your training on point, get your nutrition dialed in, and then use the right supplements that are going to support all that. So I hope that helps. Best of luck with training and nutrition over the next 4, 5, 6 weeks. I hope this video helped. I'll be replying to comments on Facebook for the next 24 hours. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Catch you soon.